I know. What were they thinking? Really?
What's going on YouTube? My name is ADCArtAttack, his name is Bob, and welcome back to a brand new drawing video. With Sonic the Hedgehog being so hot right now, I finally get to draw him on the channel, and for those who don't know why that's important to me, well, let me show you this. Before that, today's video is sponsored, and you've probably heard of these guys before, so let it roll. Raid, Shadow Legends. So I'm going to assume by now you have all heard of Raid. You have seen Raid everywhere, and for good reason. Raid is one of the top 3 ranked RPGs on the Google Play Store right now and has just been nominated as a finalist for Google Play's Best of 2019 Users' Choice Award. The game is crazy popular, with almost 15 million downloads in the last 6 months. Raid is an epic dark fantasy done right, a hero collection turn-based game with over 400 champions for you to collect and personally customize. You can enjoy the fully voiced story campaign, claim victory in the PvP arena, or you can do what I like to do and gather up a whole bunch of champions from orcs, the undead, the knights, this guy, elves, and so much more. Another really cool feature in the game is that they do weekly events, weekly tournaments, so there is always somebody to keep you playing, keep you going. We've got progression awards where you can get tons of free champions and equipment, and once you complete all the missions, you will get one of the best legendary champions in the game, completely free, the Arbiter. They actually have huge plans for updates in the game for over 6 months, which means there is just going to be so much content for you to keep enjoying and playing. Click the link in the description down below to get 100,000 free silver, 2 clan boss keys, and 10 mystery shards, and 1 free champion, the Adjudicator. Yeah, a lot of free stuff. And I gotta say, this champion does look pretty cool. Use my link. And just a heads up, here is where you can find all of your freebies. I should also say, these are only relevant for the next 30 days. So if you want them, you gotta hurry up. Anyway, that about wraps it up. I should just say one thing. I do really like this game. I play it quite a lot, and I really do like the story mode and just balloting all the bosses. So I have invested quite a lot of time in it. I am level 24 right now. That's just my personal opinion on that. With all that being said, let's get on with today's video. Are we done? Cool. This is one of my... Actually, I think I'll put it up on screen. It's probably better. There you go. This is one of the earliest drawings that I have saved in my drawing folder. It dates back to, I'd say I was around 8 or 9 years old when I did this. I was very young. Baby me. And yeah, so Sonic has been a big part of my life. I've actually been drawing Sonic my entire life. Yeah, a little bit of an obsession. But this thing right here happens to be my first ever YouTube video, which again is Sonic. So as you can tell, Sonic is just a really big important part of my life, and I really enjoy him. But I know there wasn't such a huge demand for him until that new... not that one. The new video for Sonic dropped, and everyone got really excited about it, and he's now a talking point, so that gives me a perfect chance to finally draw him. Today we will be drawing Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, not that one. We will be drawing the remastered version in negative. This is a really cool mode. I absolutely love drawing in this mode, so I hope you do enjoy the video. We have now started to play this with this, so we have 4 episodes, I think, in it, or 5. I don't know. We've done a few, so check it out, because you might like it. But this will be the latest entry. And I'm actually predicting this is going to be the most difficult one, because Sonic is easy to do, but Sonic, when he's realistic, kind of realistic, is a little bit more difficult. So I'm really looking forward to just seeing what happens here. With that being said, enjoy the video, and I'll catch you at the end. Oh, by the way, I will be talking you through everything that I'm doing as I do it, so I'm not going to leave you in the dark here. I'll see you soon. He didn't say bye, did he? Bob, say bye. Yeah. Alright, so before we begin, I should probably go into the materials I'll be using today, and we're going to start with the most important part, which is the paper. Now, last time we found this really cool black paper, and it is super dark. Like, this is the blackest paper I've ever seen. And naturally, you want it to be as black as possible so that it doesn't offset the color when we apply the filter. So I would recommend this one. Next up is our pencils. Now you want to choose yourself a high quality pencil. It needs to be quite waxy, oily. You need something that can blend and give you good coverage. And as much as I do insult these pencils, Prismacolor actually work quite well for this. And if you're wondering what my problems are with them, they break a lot. I will go into how we select our colors momentarily, but for now, let's get on with doing the drawing. So unlike traditional drawing, when you're doing negative artwork, you're going to be using a white pencil, and the reason being for that is, well, this. Once you apply that filter, the white pencil becomes black. Or kind of. I mean, it's supposed to. But herein lies the challenge. Usually, you'd probably want to draw without making any guidelines, because unlike traditional drawing, any sort of discoloration on the black paper will be very visible once you apply that filter. It doesn't matter how light you make those lines, they will show. So typically what I would normally suggest is to draw it as you see it without making any guidelines. However, as we're doing a realistic Sonic here, I think I've got enough leeway to make some rough guidelines. And of course, any mistakes you do make, as an artist, we can usually adapt and work them into it, which is actually something I will do later on, as I'm not too happy with the way the body's looking right now, so that is going to force me to erase some of this, but I'll get onto the problems with erasing soon. However, yeah, I make a few mistakes as we go, and it just forces me to do a little bit of a background that I didn't plan on doing, but I'm so happy I did. And back to that erasing, you should know that any erasing you make with a traditional eraser on this paper, it will leave some sort of white kind of streaky lines, and they will be visible. So just be cautious and careful how you use an eraser when doing this challenge. So with the sketch out of the way, it is time to move on to the colouring. Now, if you don't know how to pick your colours, I did cover this in the previous episode where I drew Hulk, but I will briefly mention exactly how you choose your colours right now. So first and foremost, you want to keep in mind that the brighter areas will be the darker areas, and the darker areas will be the lighter areas when you apply the filter. This just makes it a little bit easier when you're working with one color. So if you're working from, say, your yellows and your oranges, it's a little bit easier to know that the oranges will be the highlights and the yellows will be the shadows. But don't panic, don't be worried, don't be nervous. It does get a little bit confusing the first time you do it, but the more and more you do this challenge, the easier it becomes to do. And so selecting the colors. So you have two options right here. Your first option is to take a photo of your pencils, apply a negative filter to those pencils, and then select your colors as you normally would. This is a great way to do it, and it's pretty accurate. However, it is a little bit lengthy and kind of boring. So we have another way, which is a little bit easier, and that is to import your image, your reference image, to Photoshop, apply an invert filter, and there you go. You can just choose the colors you need from there. Now, naturally, your screen is always going to be a little bit different to your eye. So what I would suggest is when you're selecting those colors, make some scribbles on a separate sheet of paper, take photos, and just see how you're going. And this is a big thing with this challenge. You will be taking a lot of photos, and I recommend it every step of the way. Every time you do something, even if you're doing the same area, but it's a large area, make sure you're taking photos as you go to just ensure that you are on the right path. And the reason I say this and the reason I do this is because there's very little leeway here. The slightest difference in shadow, in color, in anything will throw off the colors you're using when you apply the negative filter. So you need to be fairly accurate here. So just remember to always remind yourself and keep checking your work. One of the most difficult challenges here is trying to create a solid base. You have to ensure that you get a solid base, because if you allow any of the black paper to show through, which is quite natural, you will do it, especially when doing a realistic style, they will show up white and they're very visible. However, the beauty of this being realistic, as we say, is that you can work this into your artwork. So just be aware of where your highlights are, where your shadows are, and really play with it. Now, there does seem to be some limitations with this paper and the pencils combination. I can't layer as much as I would like to, which makes it quite difficult when doing a realistic piece of artwork, because there are layers that are ahead of other layers. So for me to apply, say, the hair strands, this is where it gets a little bit difficult and quite hard to place them. You will learn as you go. It's probably wise to make a test sheet on like the side, but I didn't do that. I just sort of like went with it, just went straight into it, and I started to learn as we went, and I think I got better as we went on. But I do wish I had done a practice run before I started this, because I just think I could have done a little bit better. I don't know. And there's really not much more for me to say about this drawing, but I would like to just take a moment to talk about Sonic the character and you know, my thoughts about this whole design, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to ask me in the comment section down below, as I am such a big fan of Sonic, what do I think of the trailer, what do I think of the character's model, and what they've done. So firstly, let's talk about the original design. Hated it. I think everyone hated it. Nobody liked it. It was really bad. So we're just going to ignore that one and move on to the new design. And there is a reason I'm drawing this. I mean, I sort of like it. I do. It's not perfect. I'll be completely honest with you. It is not perfect, and it is not 100% what I would love. However, I think it's unique enough and close enough to the envision I have in my mind of what Sonic would look like as a live action character that I give it a pass, that I think this is quite cool. So I am pretty excited for it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go watch it in cinema, but I am sort of excited about the movie. I'm curious about the movie. I don't think the movie looks good, but I think the character design looks good. So I'm just really pumped about drawing him, and just finally being able to bring him back to the channel is just a great thing for me. Sonic is one of the few characters that I have memories of as my early childhood, and my earliest memories of drawing are of Sonic the Hedgehog. He's one of the few characters I'm able to fully draw freestyle from top of my head with absolutely no problems in terms of where the color should be, the proportions. I guess his proportions got all over the place, depending on the era that you choose from. But yeah, I'd say I'm pretty confident with drawing him, and I just absolutely love his character. All in all, this is a very nostalgic thing for me to do, and I'm really excited to start doing this, and I really hope that you'll like the drawing by the end of it. So what I'm going to do right now is let the rest of the drawing play out, and I'll catch you at the end. Do hope you enjoy it. I'll see you soon. Sonic. Holy what? We are done, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Sonic the Hedgehog. No? Am I the only one? Yeah? Okay. Well, you didn't come here for this, did you? You came here to see it inverted. So, Bob, hit that switch. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Guys, that... Oh my god, that looks actually really cool. Every time I do these things, they look fantastic. Every time you change it and you switch that filter back on, it's like, it blows your mind seeing it every single time. Wow. What do you think about it? Guys, I really like this. I really think that a lot of this just came out just the way I would have hoped for it to come out. I don't actually think I could have done better if I was drawing it normally. I think the inverted version of this is just so much better than anything I could have drawn. It looks pretty good. I'm really happy with this. I'm in complete shock right now. Wow, this is what I love about this challenge. You don't see the process as you're going. You don't know what you're doing. You're just taking pictures, and every now and then you look at it and you say, that looks pretty cool. But you don't really know what's going on. You just see it in stages. So to see it at the end come together, it's just... Wow. I really hope you're in as much shock as me, because that looks fantastic. I'm really, really happy with that. Yes, there are some areas I think I could have done a little bit better in terms of the proportions and, you know, some of the coverages and things like that, but I'm not going to hate on this. I actually think for what it is, very proud of this piece of artwork. It's very rare for me to be proud of my artwork, but I really do like this one, and I'm just curious to see what you think in the comment section down below. Do you like this drawing? Do you prefer the original, or do you prefer it inverted? And hey, if you do try this challenge at home, feel free to tag me on social media, ADCArtAttack on Twitter and ADCArtAttack on Instagram. And with that all being said, I think we're done here. So I hope you did enjoy today's video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. From myself and from Bob, take care, bye bye.